Recording in progress.
So good morning everyone, thank you very much for joining me. It's Jamie from Island Yoga UK for a short hatha yoga practice this morning. So let's just come to our comfortable seated upright position. You can be doing anything with the legs as long as the spine is uplifted, relaxing the shoulders, and gently close your eyes. Allow your breath to find its own natural rhythm, and don't try to change the breath in any way. Just watch your breath as it flows. Feel the body's reaction to each and every breath you take. And as we sit in stillness with the slow, relaxed breath, the mind slows down too. And now we can perhaps extend the breath, breathing longer, slower and deeper through the nose, allowing the abdomen to expand as we inhale fully. And then as we exhale, just draw the abdomen in, pushing all of the air out of the lungs. And just continue with this new way of breathing through the nose, allowing the belly to expand and then pulling it in. We're going to try to hold on to this longer, deeper breathing throughout our practice today. But for now, let's place the palms together at heart center. And we'll say one long Om together to start the class. So inhale deeply. Release your hands behind your back, and then as you exhale, bend forward from the waist and surrender to Mother Earth. Inhaling, coming back up. Release your hands again and gently open the eyes. Namaste. Okay, let's take our position on the mat on all fours. We're going to start as usual with a few cat-cow stretches. Very important to start waking up the spine. So let's have the hands directly under the shoulders, knees directly under the hips, and keeping with the long, slow breath. But you can work in time with your own breath and your own rhythm. You don't need to follow me. So inhaling deeply, chin and chest going up, tailbone up. Flexing the spine first one way and then exhaling, pushing away, dropping the chin to the chest and raising the middle of the back. Inhale. Just keep repeating this, flexing the spine, looking up as we inhale and exhaling, looking down towards the navel. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. You can close your eyes during these simple movements to help you go deeper. Exhale. Inhaling. And exhale. Release the back to a neutral position. And now we can spin the fingers out and go all the way so that the fingers are facing to the outer edges of the mat. Readjust the wrists so that it's the wrists that are directly under the shoulders. And let's do a few more cat-cow stretches. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Release the back, just 3 here, because we're going to spin the fingers all the way inside now, so that the fingers are facing each other towards the center of the mat, readjusting the wrists once more so that they're directly under the shoulders. Let's do 3 more of these. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Release the back again, and now spin the hands all the way back out, all the way around, and see how far you can bring the fingers all the way around, perhaps even facing the knees. We're rotating the wrists and the shoulders now, and let's do a few more cat-cow stretches here. So let's inhale as we push away with the arms, looking up, and then exhaling, dropping the chin to the chest and rounding the back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And the last one, inhaling. Exhaling. Release the back and release the wrists and hands now. And you can sit back just for 1 or 2 breaths on your heels. Just relaxing the hands, they can be on the thighs. Allowing the breath to return to its normal rhythm. And any sensations in the wrists and arms just to soften. Let's widen the knees now and stretch forward into resting warrior, Adho Mukha Virasana. So we're creeping those fingertips forward, really stretching, lengthening the spine, trying to create some space between the vertebrae and allowing the breath to go long, deep and slow. Pushing the hands down into the mat now for the last breath. Feel that the upper back and shoulders perhaps engage a little bit more as you push the palms down into the mat. Now let's come forward with the hips and torso so that we're laying down on our bellies. Hands beside the chest, and let's push up into updog. So this is like a cobra, but you're pushing a little bit more. Keep the legs and feet active. Always working within your comfortable limit. If this is your first back bend of the day, just being mindful, feeling the body's reactions breath by breath. On the next exhale, let's tuck the toes and go back into down dog. We can do that now. And easing our way in, as always, starting with a nice flat, straight back, with the arms pushing away and extending as much as you can. Don't worry about the legs initially. You can be on tiptoes, you can have bent knees, and then only when you've got that beautiful straight back, then we can begin to stretch the hamstrings, perhaps straightening the legs and bringing the heels down towards the mat. Keep breathing here. Just the long, slow breaths. Pushing away with the arms. This really is such a great exercise for the upper back. And then from here, we're going to transition into high plank. So coming forward with the hips so that the shoulders are directly above the hands. You can readjust anything you need to now. Keep the elbows soft. And we're trying to create that beautiful straight line between the shoulders and the ankles. Just a couple of breaths here. And by keeping those elbows soft, then we're protecting the elbows, we're protecting the joints, the weight going through the musculature of the body rather than the bones locking at the elbows. Just one more long breath here, and then we're going to go back into down dog. So as you exhale, let's push back once more, flexing the arms, pushing away and finding down dog. And then from here, you've got two options. You can either walk the feet towards the hands in little baby steps, trying to keep the legs as straight as possible, or you can jump to the front of the mat. So whichever you decide, let's do that now. Either walking or jumping. And when we arrive at the front of the mat, just keep the knees soft and just relax and release the upper body so that we stay in this forward fold. The knees can be as bent as you need in order to release the upper body down. And now from here, let's throw the arms forward so that the upper arms are next to our ears, and then we can inhale and come back up with a straight back. And release the hands. Well done, everyone. Just allow the arms to come all the way down. Beautiful. Let's readjust the feet so that they're hip width apart now. And grounding down evenly into both feet, all of the toes active and the weight spread evenly between right, left, front and back. Soften the knees. Thrusting the groin forward, tilting the pelvis, drawing the belly button in. Let's engage the core. And standing tall, stretching the spine up towards the ceiling, drawing the head up. Lengthening the neck, feeling that we're grounding down and lifting up at the same time. With the next inhale, let's raise the arms to the front, all the way up, and using the arms now to stretch up even more. Pulling the sides of the upper body up, engaging the whole of the back as we use the arms. Just keep breathing. Now let's grab the opposite elbows. So your right hand grabs your left elbow and your left hand grabs your right elbow, and pull the arms back. So don't allow the arms to come forward like this, just pulling them back so that the upper arms are next to the ears and stretching up, grounding down, engaging the core and the slight contraction of the pelvic floor here as well. Any tension in the neck, then you can just look very slowly and slightly to one side and then the other. Keep breathing. We're having one more long breath here. And now keeping the knees soft, we're going to pivot from the waist, keeping those arms high as you can, exhaling, bending from the waist, folding forward, keeping the arms stretching out straight, as high as you can, and then coming all the way down so that you're laying the chest on the thighs, bending the knees deeply if you need to, and keeping the arms high. Just a few breaths here. And then release the arms down onto the mat so that your hands are placed on the mat. And stepping back with the legs, giant step back, coming into plank once more. And then once we've found our plank, we're going to go down through Chaturanga to lay our bellies on the mat again. And if those of you that don't know what Chaturanga is, think of it as a reverse press up. So we're keeping the body straight, gradually lowering the chest down towards the mat, and then releasing. From here, you can push back so that you're sitting on your knees once more. Well done, guys. I'm going to show you something now that some of you may know, but because we've got a mixed ability audience, I thought I would explain it. It's called Matsya Kriya, or the dolphin stretch, and it's a particularly good exercise for upper body, shoulders, and headstand preparation. So the way we do this is we first of all interlock the fingers, and then we're tucking this last finger inside so that as we create this nice, firm, interlocked fingers, this little one doesn't get in the way. Okay? And then what we're doing is we're going to, on our knees, we're going to place that triangular base down on the mat. Make sure the elbows don't come any wider than the knees, and that's quite a challenge here. Really grounding down and pressurizing the whole of the forearm, especially the wrists and the hands. So really push down into the mat now. Try to engage the shoulders as well. So pushing down into the mat with the shoulders and feel that girdle, that muscle that runs along the upper back engage. And that's going to be your base. So really focus on that strong base. And now we're going to come up onto the toes, push back into a kind of a down dog, but using that triangular base. Looking towards the navel, really engaging the upper back. Just breathe there. Have a few breaths and check that out. Feel how that feels. And all the while, I'm really bringing my attention to pushing away with the arms and the shoulders. Just have one more long breath there. And then you can release the knees down onto the mat. Come back up to sitting on your heels. And just observe for a second. The next stage of this practice is a dynamic movement forwards and backwards. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you now, and then we can practice together before going into our relaxation. This is how it looks. I'm taking that triangular base. I'm pushing up, I'm coming up onto my tiptoes, and it's easier if it's longer stance like that, and it's harder if you bring the feet towards the head. So start a little bit wider. Really important that you're pushing away with the arms. And now the dynamic movement is this. As I inhale, I'm coming forward with the chin or the forehead all the way down towards the mat, and then exhaling, pushing away, extending, coming all the way back, looking towards the navel. Inhaling, coming forward. Exhaling, pushing away. And you can repeat that up to 10 times. Let's do that now together. Just have a go. If it seems strenuous, just try one or two. And if you've finished and you want to rest in between, then I suggest resting in Shashankasana or child's pose. So I'm going to do a few more of those while you're doing yours, just for demonstration purposes. And then when you've finished your exercises today, the dolphin, just come to Shashankasana or child's pose, relaxing the upper body and allowing the breath to recover. And remembering, I was seeing people on the screen doing really well there, having a good go at that. But remember what I was saying about shortening the distance between the feet and the arms makes it more challenging and changes the muscles that you're using into the shoulders. So when you're having a go at that, just try and play around with your practice, moving the distance between your feet. Okay, let's spin around so that we're lying on our backs now. We're going to sit up in Dandasana. So let's have the spine uplifted, legs extended in front of us. Feet engaged, so we're pulling the feet towards us. Hands can be just placed beside our hips. Just keep breathing and keeping the spine long. We were practicing at the beginning of the class the cat-cow with spinning the hands around and moving them in, helping to rotate the shoulders. Well, this is another great exercise that works on that. We're going to do Catuspadasana from here. That's otherwise known as reverse tabletop. So placing the hands beside the hips now, ankles hip width apart, we're going to pivot on the heels as we drive the knees forward and lift the pelvis up. So inhale, knees coming forward, lifting the pelvis up as high as you can. Head and neck can stay in a neutral position, or if you want to allow it to drop back, then that's fine as well. Just keep breathing here. For those of you that can just manage a little while, then just release the buttocks slowly back between the hands, placing them back on the floor. For those of you that are still in the pose, just another few breaths. Good work on the upper arms and shoulders, especially for the rotation. And then slowly bring the buttocks back between the hands. We're still in Dandasana, so flex the feet again. Lift up the spine so we're nice and stretched towards the ceiling, and now we're going to use the arms into Urdhva Dandasana, stretching up as well towards the ceiling. Just focus on the long, slow breath. Feel your body's reaction. And then slowly release the arms. Let's bend the knees as we lay down on our back now and bring the knees all the way into the chest. Hugging the knees tight into the chest so that the lower back feels like it's squashing down into the mat. And just rock slightly from right to left, massaging the lower back into the mat. And keeping the knees in tight to the chest, keep the ankles and heels in tight to the buttocks as well. Move the arms out of the way and just roll over onto your right side. So we're trying to keep the knees as high as we can into the chest. Left arm points up towards the ceiling and then opens up all the way over to the left side. So we're opening the chest and we can look over our left shoulder as well, down towards our left hand. Feeling that spinal twist run the length of our spine. Just a few long breaths here. That left arm can come back now and help the knees, if it needs to bring them back through the center, keeping the knees in tight to the chest, and then rolling over onto the left side now. Right hand going up and pointing towards the ceiling, and then opening up all the way to the right side, whilst you look over the right shoulder, down towards the right hand. Having our last long breath here. Releasing the right hand, bringing the knees back to the center. One last little rock from side to side. Each rock we do, we just let go, start relaxing. And now we can extend the ankles, extend the legs, coming into a very short Savasana. Allowing the hands to come away from the body and the ankles to flop open. Let's just relax the feet and the ankles now, releasing any tension you might have there. Relaxing the legs, the pelvis and the hips are heavy. You can relax the buttocks, the lower back, and allow that relaxation to spread all the way up into the shoulders and the upper back. Allow the breath to settle and find its own natural rhythm. And as the breath slows down, then so does the heart rate. And with each slow exhale, you just relax more and allow that to happen now. Now relaxing the arms and the hands, the wrists and the fingers, letting go, releasing and relaxing all the way up into the shoulders. So now the entire back side of the body is rested and released. And if it's not, let it go now, release fully. Bring our attention to the face and especially the jaw. Relax the jaw now and all those small muscles around the jaw and the cheeks. And relax those muscles around the temples and the forehead so that the whole face and all the muscles in the face are soft. If you're holding on to any tension anywhere in the physical body, now's the time to let it go, right now. And now let's begin to bring some movement back to the physical body. Perhaps we can move the fingers and the toes whilst inhaling a little bit deeper, stretching the right arm up and all the way back behind us. Bending the left knee so the foot is flat on the floor and rolling over onto your right side, just for a couple of breaths. Slowly pushing back up to a seated position with the eyes remaining closed if you can. And then with the spine uplifted and the shoulders relaxed, Let's place our palms together at heart center again. And we'll say one long Om together to finish the class today. So inhaling deeply. Rubbing the hands together, creating some heat, some friction. And then with cupped hands, just placing them gently over your eyes. Feel the warmth and gently massaging around the eye sockets, the temples and the forehead, very briefly, before releasing the hands and gently opening your eyes. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you all again soon.